Hey guys, what's going on? Joshua Elder here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video today, I want to talk about the difference between the employee mindset and the entrepreneur mindset. There's so many victims out there I've been seeing lately in my YouTube comments. People complaining that they have to pay for stuff and complaining about the content that I'm giving out, even though it's 100% free content. And these are the same people that are going to continue to struggle. These are the people that are creating excuses as to why they can't do something. And if you guys wake up and you have gratitude and you're grateful for living and breathing, that's going to be the gasoline that's going to push you forward, that's going to allow you to succeed. The people that are out there looking to get instead of give, the people that are out there looking for, material things, the nice watch, the nice cars, the parties, you know what? After so long, they're going to realize that doesn't give them the fulfillment and the true overall happiness that they want, and they're going to have a rude awakening. So I think people that are heart-centered, people that are out there, that are living every day and that appreciate even having water, having sunshine, having a place to live, regardless of where they're at, are the people that are going to be successful. And so that kind of segues me into this whole discussion about the employee mindset and the entrepreneur mindset. It's kind of like the, poor mindset versus the rich mindset. They're very much alike. And so, before I get into the content, make sure that you subscribe to this channel because I'm uploading content on a consistent basis, teaching you how to build a life and business full of freedom, passion, and fulfillment. Go ahead and hit the like if you get value from my content, and if you're looking forward to this content, we'll go ahead and get into it. So what I've done is I've written down the difference here in my iPhone between the employee mindset and the entrepreneur mindset. And what I want to do is I want to go through these kind of step by step and bit by bit. So number one, employees take orders. Okay, entrepreneurs, they take responsibility and initiative. Right? When we go through school, we're told what to do. We're told what to study. We read a book. We memorize a book. We repeat what's in the book. And we take a test on sort of what's in the book. So we're sort of drones going through this educational system, being habitually wired to work for somebody else. And it's unfortunate because once we get out of school, we continue to take orders. We don't tap into our creativity, and we might tap into a little bit of creativity in high school and maybe somewhat in college, but it doesn't really allow us to flourish and think for ourselves. We're taught to think for other people. And so it's not exactly your fault, but now that you have this information, you can go out there and you can change it. So you need to stop taking orders. You need to wait for, instead of waiting for people to tell you what to do, you need to start to think for yourself. You need to start to think about what you stand for. What do you want in your life? And you have to think about this 9-to-5 system. You have to be able to look at something from sort of a bird's eye view from the outside looking in. And sometimes that's hard to do when you're actually in the 9-to-5 grind. You're trying to pay the bills, right? It's hard to stop and think about what you truly want. And that's what keeps the poor from becoming rich, or the middle class from becoming rich. And that's what makes the rich richer. Is it's hard to unplug from the matrix. But once you do unplug from the matrix, you realize, wow, I've been controlled my whole entire life. I had the ability to change, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And so realizing that you are controlled in some sort of way, that you are wired to take orders, that life is just supposed to be this 9-to-5 grind for the next 40 to 60 years. I was fortunate enough when I was in my late teens, I started asking myself important questions. And when I asked myself these important questions, I got really important answers. So it's kind of crazy. If you ask yourself good questions, you're going to get good answers. And so I asked myself, who designed this 9-to-5 system? Who created it? Did somebody write it down on a piece of paper and added some signature and a stamp and said, this is the way that life is supposed to be lived? No, man. Somebody created that. The United States of America created that. Society created that because of the Industrial Revolution, right? When people started working in, manufacturing plants, and, it required, 8 to 10 hours a day for people to manufacture goods for our country and other countries. And so then they designed an education system around that. So, we'd go through that education system and we get plugged into the matrix and we'd start working for corporate America. And that's really what the education system is designed to do. Before the education system, we were actually free. We were farmers. We grew our own crops. We were independent people. But then the 1900s, all this stuff happened, the manufacturing of cars and goods. And, it was a great time for the United States, but our people were put to work. And what did we do? We got stuck inside of this matrix. So, it was good for the country, but it was very bad for the people because it taught us to work for somebody else, right? So, I say this to not put the employees down because we need employees, but this message is for those of you that want more, that know that you deserve more, okay? So that's number one. You take orders. Entrepreneurs, they take responsibility and initiative. They think outside the box. They tap into creativity. They realize what is, but they realize that they can change it. Tomorrow is a new page. Tomorrow is a new chapter in a book, and they can rewrite. They can reinvent themselves if they want to, right? So here's number two. Employees want instant gratification. Right? We're so wired, once again, to get instant gratification. We work 8 hours a day. We're making $10 an hour and we make 80 bucks. That's like guaranteed, right? That's how we're wired. So we're trading time for hours, and long hours typically equates to little pay, where the entrepreneur mindset is more of a visionary mindset. They're thinking about the future. They're thinking about what they're going to create. So they're willing to do the work now. They're willing to sacrifice now with no guarantee that they're going to get paid for the greater good of their family, of their future, of the people, of the country, of the world, right? And so it takes a level of patience to have the entrepreneur mindset, to be patient, to know that you're going to get what's due to you. So I ask you the question, would you like $1,000 right now, or would you like to wait 6 months to get $60,000? The entrepreneur is willing to wait, okay? So that's number two. Number three is entrepreneurs love what they do. Employees, most of them hate what they do. They're just in it for recognition. They're in it to get to the top. And here's the thing. Once entrepreneurs or once employees get to the top, it's not what they realized it would be. And I've experienced that. I've gotten promotions and I thought that it would be this big, fiesta, and, there'd be all this recognition and all these accolades, and I'd feel so appreciated by my coworkers and my boss, and it really isn't. It's not what you think it is. So a lot of these people are trying to climb the corporate ladder for what? For temporary fulfillment, for temporary recognition, for the nice car, the nice house, to keep up with the Joneses. I've made, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in 1 month. And I remember when I quit my job, I was like, this is going to give me something that is going to last a lifetime. And I quit my job, and guess what? It felt great for a while. And then I'm like, now what? Now what do I do? You go off on the beach, you travel, you sip out of coconuts, you experience the world. And then it's like everything's good and dandy, but then you're like, well, now what? It's still better than a job, but you're still like, now what? You buy a new house, you buy a new car. Feels good for a little while, then you're like, now what? And the entrepreneur learns to think long term, but also look at the micro level and be happy in the moment, because the moments are truly what make people happy. it's not the end destination. It's in fact the climb. Right? Whether you're working a day job or whether you are, an entrepreneur, you've got to realize that the happiness is going to be in the present moment. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next week. It's not going to be once you have this or that. Because I could give you $1 million right now. You could win the lottery and win $50 million right now. Did you know that 3 out of 5 people after 3 years that win the lottery and earn all this money, they go broke? Why do you think that is? Number one, they didn't earn it themselves. They didn't work for it. They don't understand money management. And they think that happiness is going to be outside of themselves. And so they spend all this money on a bunch of different things until they realize, wow, this didn't give me the feeling I thought it would give me. And they go back to their job, they go back to the grind. Maybe they learn the lesson and they realize to be grateful for the small things, to be grateful for the progress, right? And that's the way entrepreneurs think, is they think about the present moment. How can I be present? How can I be present for you? How can I be present for the camera? How can I find happiness in this very moment instead of like waiting for the weekend? You see, employees, they wait for the weekend. Entrepreneurs don't, because they understand what happiness truly entails. Okay. One thing that I also want to add, entrepreneurs, they use the 80-20 rule. They understand that 20% or 80% of their results is going to be from 20% of the work that they put in. What happens with employees, 80% of what they do produces 20% of the result. And they get paid the 20% while the business owner gets paid 80%, aka the entrepreneur. So, employees are so wired to be in this mindset that they're going to trade time for money. They're going to work hours for dollars. They don't realize that they are actually they're working the hardest to give their money to the entrepreneur, while the entrepreneur is leveraging the time by hiring the employees, right? So you got to decide, do you want to buy the car at the dealership or do you want to own the dealership? Do you want to continue to buy food at the restaurant or would you rather own the restaurant? Just something to think about, right? So I wanted to create this video. I hope this will kind of help you transition from that employee mindset, if you're in that mindset, to the entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneurs are okay with taking risks. Entrepreneurs are patient. Employees want instant gratification. They are looking for the next thing that's going to temporarily fulfill them. So are you willing to be patient today to have the life you want tomorrow or not? It's up to you. Let me know in the comments below. With that said, this is Josh Elder signing off. If you got value from this video, let me know. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. And if you want to learn how to be a business owner, if you want to learn how to be an entrepreneur, if you want to learn how to leverage the affiliate marketing business model that I've used to go from working 40 to 50 hours a week to being able to travel the world and really enjoy time and enjoy the moments, then I invite you to check out the links in the description below. And, hope you got value, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.